entire week. And yeah, it's nighttime. Tonight, I have a special guest. Say hello to the future dictator, the person who is with me today doing this review of the latest movie, which I had no clue was produced by Sam Raimi, Boy Kills World. This is rated R. It stars Bill Skarsgård, and I forget her name, but she was in Happy Death Day and a couple of other people. Yes, Perp, it is fire. Welcome. So I brought the little one with me because I took her, of course, to see this excellent movie. And I'm going to say right now, before I get started on this non-spoiler review, I'm definitely going to probably have this on my top 10 movies of this year. That's like, I know Joker's coming out and a bunch of other ones, but this is definitely probably, I mean, unless I see something super hyped, this is probably going to be at least in my top 5. I got to see how the new Joker plays out. And of course, Dune is a strong contender for number 1. But Boy Kills World is interesting because this, to me, I thought was going for a John Wick standard, just shoot up a bunch of people kind of thing. And that was not the case at all. Had a twist. I have not been fooled by a plot twist in quite some time. It's been many years. Like, there's a dime a dozen revenge stories out there. This is the first movie that actually caught me. And there's no spoilers, so I'm not going to tell you. But the plot twist alone is worth seeing this movie. So before we go, I'm going to have first the little dictator tell you what are her thoughts. So what'd you think of the movie?
Amazing. I did not see those plot twists coming. It's not a typical revenge movie. It has drama. It has that like feeling of what's going to happen next and a lot of sadness to it. And it's just amazing. You should go see it. Definitely.
And what was your favorite action scene?
Probably the end.
Okay. We can't say what the ending is, but you like the ending?
Yes. It was so unexpected.
Awesome. So you heard it there, folks. The little dictator loved the end of the movie. Me personally, this movie is hyper violent. I knew it was going to be violent, but some of the scenes I did not expect them to do. I have seen John Wick. I've seen a bunch of these like ultra violent kind of revenge thrillers. And I think the thing that this movie does better than most movies out there is that the creativity behind the violence is a lot. Like I said, there's no spoilers, but everything in this movie gets used. There is, I remember Evil Dead Rise was one of my favorite horror movies that came out. It was in my top 10 horror movies list of, I believe, 2023. The year it came out, and I believe it was like up in the top 5. And in particular, in that movie, I talked about what they did with a cheese grater. This takes that and like
raises it to like 10. Oh my god.
Yeah, it was like, holy cow. There's a scene with a cheese grater in this, and wow, just wow. So the action is phenomenal. Bill Skarsgård is in probably the best shape I've ever seen him in as an actor. And the characters are really hilarious. But the other thing about this movie that I did not expect, the dude who does the voice for Archer and Bob's Burger is in this. He is the inner monologue, because this isn't a spoiler, but the main protagonist is both deaf and mute. So everything that you get as far as the character feels is coming from his inner monologue. So his inner monologue is the voice of Archer, and it is hilarious. And one thing I didn't expect from this movie, I didn't expect humor with a bunch of blood, gore, and a big revenge story. This movie is very funny. There's a lot of scenes where me and the little dictator were laughing out loud. So what was your favorite funny scene?
Oh, I don't know. They're all really good.
Okay, what scene made you laugh out loud? I know there was one.
Well, I don't really want to say because I don't really want to spoil.
Okay, yeah, that's true. See, the little dictator knows you can't do any spoilers in a non-spoiler review. But there was a lot of funny moments, a lot of funny scenes. There was surprisingly emotional stuff in this movie I did not expect. There's a particular thing with the main character and his reasons for revenge, which is pretty simple. It's the whole kill the puppy idea, only it's not a puppy. But there's definitely a thing that happens throughout this film that really has emotional scenes. And then the interesting thing about this movie is what you figure out when they do the whole big twist. It all ties together really nicely to everything that you've seen thus far in the beginning of the movie. This movie was just very good. The thing that makes this interesting for me is that on the surface, this movie is very straightforward. So it's not like the other movies I saw, Abigail and Civil War and things like that. It's not that deep, but there is stuff that is kind of cool, but can't be talked about in a non-spoiler review. So if you guys want me to do a spoiler review, leave me some comments and let me know, and I can dive into things. But I want to wait until this has been out for a while so people have a chance to go and see it. But all in all, the plot is really good. Bill Skarsgård is really good. The ending is great. Make sure you stay after the movie, after the credits. There is a post-credit scene. But yeah, it is a really surprisingly good movie. There's lots of action. There's a surprising amount of heart. All of the characters do really well in this movie. And I'm going to say for my rating, which is surprising because so far I've given Civil War an 8 and Abigail 7.5, and maybe even change it to 8. Now, upon a rewatch, I'd have to go back through. Like I said, these are just my initial thoughts. This movie, honestly, I would give a 9. Purely on the fact that it got me with a twist that I never saw coming. And it's been quite a few years since I've been surprised by a film. So, at any rate, I think this is a great movie to watch. I give this movie a 9 out of 10. What do you rate it?
Yeah, I'd say like a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10?
Yeah, I like the fact that it was not just a gore fest. It was heart-filled, and there was some moments that like was kind of cute. You'll see as like shock. It's amazing. Go see it, definitely.
So there, you heard it first here from the Fandom Zone with the little dictator and with yours truly, the general, the leader. Go check this movie out. This is just non-spoiler, out of the movie thoughts, car video, OG, bringing this back. Thank you, everybody who's been watching these. Hopefully, you've been enjoying these videos. I plan on doing a couple more before the return of Bitchy Unicorn. But yes, I plan on going to see a couple more, movies. I definitely want to check out a few more movies that are coming out. But thank you, everybody, for watching. I definitely think you should see this movie. 9 out of 10. This is getting on there with Dune Part 2 as far as how I feel about like really what elevates this movie for me is the twist, is the emotion, and just the action too. There's a gory, fun, good time. Lots of surprises, and it's not just a typical revenge thriller. Also, this was produced by Sam Raimi. So, fun fact, I did not know Sam Raimi has his own company, and apparently he produced this movie. So, this is definitely good, and I'm honestly hoping that we have a hit on our hands. So, maybe we might see this character return. Who knows? But anyways, thank you, everybody, for watching this review. Thank you, Little Dictator, for joining us and giving your expert opinion. And, if I had any negatives for this movie, I would say the only negative thing is there's a side character in particular that we don't learn much about. The characters were so good that a few of them didn't really get a moment to understand who they are, seeing as to the lead is deaf and mute. My only complaint and the point deduction is the fact that you really don't get to learn much of the side characters. There's another character that's introduced as part of a twist. You don't really learn much of them. I'm hoping that if there is a sequel, or if this movie gets really big and they decide to do a part two, they'll elaborate on a few more things that they left hanging. But other than that, I think this is a great movie. Go support it. It's an original idea. As far as revenge goes, it's the most original revenge thriller we've had in quite some time. It's very deceiving with its premise, but the whole world and the different characters make this very unique as far as revenge movies go. So thank you very much. And remember, there's only one rule here in the Phantom Zone. Do you know what that rule is? Come on.
No.
Man, even the little dictator who will someday rule this world. The only rule here in the Phantom Zone is kneel before General Zod.